Let me ask you something. Are you just tired of all the usual productivity advice? The color-coded calendars, the 5 a.m. wake-up calls, only to end up feeling even more buried than before? Well, what if I told you the real secret to getting more done isn't about working harder, but working weirder? Yeah, let's get into this, because it's pretty clear that the old playbook just isn't cutting it anymore.
I mean, think about it. The way we work has been completely turned on its head. Right now, a whopping 79% of people who can work from home are doing it, either in a hybrid model or fully remote. We have more flexibility, more gadgets, and more apps than ever before.
And yet, here's the kicker. With all this freedom, all this tech at our fingertips, why do so many of us feel like we're just running in place? More distracted, less focused, and definitely less productive. What is going on?
Well, the problem is we're trying to play a brand new game using an old, outdated rulebook. Seriously, the whole foundation of traditional productivity was built for a different world, an industrial era that, let's be honest, just doesn't exist anymore.
And this, right here, this is the big shift. We've all been taught that productivity is a time problem. You just need a better schedule, right? Wrong. That's the old way of thinking. The new reality? Productivity is a psychology problem. It's not about your calendar, it's about managing your brain's energy, its focus, and its creativity. And the folks at the top of their game, they get this. And they use some pretty unconventional tricks to make it work.
Okay, let's start with a really wild one. What if the secret to finally beating procrastination was to actually plan to procrastinate? I know, it sounds completely backward, but stick with me, because this is one of the most powerful habits of some seriously productive people.
We need to completely reframe this. That feeling, that urge to put something off, it's not you being lazy, it's not a moral failing. You got to think of it more like a signal from your brain. It's telling you something. Maybe it's bored, maybe it's overwhelmed, or maybe you're just focused on the wrong thing. Instead of fighting that feeling, the smartest people actually lean into it. And by intentionally scheduling time to mess around, they do two kind of magical things. First, it creates this incredible sense of urgency for the stuff that really matters. And second, it turns procrastination from this guilty, shameful thing into a scheduled, guilt-free mental break. It's a recharge.
So here's how you do it. You literally schedule it. Put it in your calendar, 2 procrastination breaks, maybe 15 or 20 minutes each. And here's the rule. During that time, you have to do something totally unproductive. Goof off online, stare out the window, whatever. It's a strategic move, a little pressure release valve that makes your focus time way, way more powerful. All right, hack number 2. Picture this. It's 2:30 in the afternoon. Your brain feels like sludge. The average person just grabs another cup of coffee. But the pro move? Something called the nappuccino. It sounds a little nuts, but the science behind it is just brilliant. You chug a cup of coffee, and then, right away, you take a 20-minute nap. See, caffeine actually takes about 20 minutes to fully kick in. So while you're taking a quick snooze, your brain is clearing out all those chemicals that make you feel drowsy. Then you wake up just as the caffeine hits your system. It's the perfect boost with zero grogginess.
And hey, this isn't just some weird life hack. This is backed by real science. NASA, yeah, that NASA, did a study on their pilots. The result? These short naps boosted performance by 34% and alertness by a full 100%. That 20-minute window is the sweet spot. It's just enough to recharge you without letting you fall into that deep, groggy sleep.
And the best part is how simple it is. The next time you feel that afternoon slump coming on, just drink your coffee, set a timer for 20 minutes, and close your eyes. Seriously, even if you don't actually fall asleep, just resting your brain for that time works wonders. Okay, let's talk about the hardest part of any big project. For most of us, it's just starting, right? That blinking cursor on a blank page, it can be absolutely paralyzing. While top performers have a secret. They cheat. They don't start at the beginning. That's a rule that was made to be broken. Instead, they just jump right into the easiest part, or the most interesting part, or even the end. And here's why it works. It's a little psychological trick called chunking. You're taking this huge, scary task and breaking it down. By tackling an easy piece first, you give yourself a quick psychological win. You start to build momentum, and all of a sudden, that terrifying introduction you were avoiding, it doesn't seem so bad anymore.
So, your next big project, I want you to try this. Just look it over and find the one part that feels the least like work. Do that. Forget the proper order. The goal isn't to be perfect from the get-go. The goal is just to get the ball rolling.
Now this next one,
It's going to feel totally wrong, but it is one of the most powerful mindset shifts you can possibly make. If you feel like you never have enough time, the answer isn't to find more time, it's to give yourself less. This is all based on a famous idea called Parkinson's Law, and it basically says this. If you give yourself a whole week to finish a report, guess what? It's going to take you a week. But if you give yourself just 2 hours, you might be shocked to find you can get it done in 2 hours. See, by setting these aggressive, almost crazy short deadlines, you manufacture focus. You force your brain to cut out all the noise. There's literally no time to check your phone or get lost down an email rabbit hole. This pressure, this constraint, it shoves you into that amazing state of flow, where your best work happens.
So here's a challenge for you. Tomorrow, pick your number one most important task, whatever it is. Then cut the time you think you need to do it in half. Set a timer and just go. I promise you will be blown away by what you can accomplish when your back's against the wall. And all of this leads to our final and maybe the most important hack of all. So much of our lives now is designed to be comfortable, but in the world of high performance, you have to understand that comfort is the enemy of growth. Real productivity isn't just about clever tricks and shortcuts. It's about building up your mental and emotional muscle, your resilience, so you can handle the hard stuff. And that resilience, that's what predicts success more than almost anything else.
And this can look like a lot of different things. It might be doing your hardest task first thing in the morning. That's the classic eat the frog technique. Or maybe it's finally having that difficult conversation you've been putting off. It could even be just pushing through that last 10 minutes of a workout. Every time you lean into that discomfort, you're training your brain not to quit when things get tough.
Here's a super simple way to practice this every single day. When you wake up, just ask yourself, what's one thing I've been avoiding because it feels uncomfortable? And then just do that thing first. It sets an incredible tone for the entire rest of your day. So when you put this all together, the big takeaway is really clear. Being truly productive in this day and age has absolutely nothing to do with trying to be some perfect, emotionless robot. It's about being a smarter human. It's about understanding how your own brain works, its energy, its focus, its fears, and then working with those things, not against them. All of these hacks are about that one idea, working smarter, not just harder. So I have to ask you, which one of these weird habits are you going to try first? The planned procrastination? The nappuccino? The first step is just to experiment a little and see what works for your brain.